Greetings. Welcome to Leadership 2, Class 2. Today I want to prepare you for the document and for the project that we'll have called a SMART Goal Project. We're going to tackle a large project in your ministry, but we're going to start with a small project today. And I'm going to give you a worksheet. It's loaded on the Info tab or File tab of your Populi website. I want you to understand what a SMART goal is first. A SMART goal is a goal that contains 5 different elements. And those 5 elements spell the word SMART, S-M-A-R-T. The first letter is S, and it stands for a specific goal. And I would ask you, when you write your goal, can you articulate it more clearly? Can you reduce it down? Can you summarize the goal into a single thought? After you do that, can you refine the thought? Can you summarize it to a bottom line? Here's what we want to do. So be very specific in your goal. Secondly, is it measurable? How will you know if you've attained your goal? Is it measurable? Can you quantify it by putting numbers to it? Saying that I want to reach the whole world for Christ is really not a measurable goal. In essence, I realize there are almost 7 billion people. But if I were to say, hey, I want to reach 10 people for Christ this year, well, that's a SMART goal in many respects, as you'll see as we go through these 5 different elements. It's specific and it's measurable. It also contains a timed out portion that we'll see in just a moment. So specific, measurable, attainable. Is this goal dependent upon somebody else? If so, who? Are they dependable? Can you count on them? Will it take other people to accomplish this goal, and are they trustworthy? So it's important that we share the load. But we also have to remember, if we're sharing things a load with part of the vision with people that are not trustworthy, then the goal may not be attainable simply because of the people that we're depending upon. And I realize that all of us in our ministries deal with volunteers, but it's incumbent upon us to raise up people and to hold them to be accountable. So is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? The R is it relevant? Why would you like to do this goal? And what is it that you want to accomplish? Of the items that you're putting down there, if you're looking for one specific thing, your specific goal, what is it that you'd like to do that changes or affects your ministry the most? I know sometimes people write out several things so they get to the one that they want to do. What is it about this particular goal that compels you to do it? Is it relevant, and will it affect your ministry? Will it have an impact on your ministry? Is there anything else that's more important than this particular thing? If there is, you may want to tackle that. And in this first project, we're going to tackle a simple obstacle or problem or opportunity, and we're going to apply the SMART goal to it. But later in week 5, you'll tackle a large issue in your church. And then the last thing in SMART goals is time specific. When will you reach this goal by? Let's put a date on it. Can you give a time limit? Say, within a certain time frame, this goal will be accomplished. How long will it take to create and sustain a habit of success in this area? And when can you accomplish this goal? These are SMART goals, and it's important that we set goals. I believe that God wants us to set some goals. I think that He wants us to reach out for more, to accomplish and become. God met you where you are, but He wants to lead you into who you can be. Now, let me give you some helpful hints when it comes to setting goals. And these are very general things. But as you're taking notes, you might want to abbreviate and write these down. The first thing I would say is this: develop several goals. I would list 7 to 10 goals that you want to tackle over a period of time. And you can prioritize those to use the SMART goals. State the goals as declarations of intention. Not, I hope to accomplish this, or, one day I may get to this. But you might say, I want to, or I will accomplish such and such. I will do this. With intention and power, state these things. These are the things that I will accomplish by the Lord's strength and power. And then, thirdly, attach a date to each goal, just like we're talking about in the SMART goals, that we want to have a timed out portion, that we will accomplish it by a certain time. And so a good list will include both short-term and long-term goals. When we get to the end of this class, we'll be talking about some long-term vision things for your ministry. But for right now, you want to state some long-term and short-term goals. You may want a few goals for the year, and you may want some for just 2 to 3 month intervals. And sometimes you'll look at the year, a big goal, and you'll break it down into smaller goals that help you accomplish the big goal by the end of the year. Now, just like in the SMART goals, we've got to be specific. To say I need to find a job is too general. But to find and research 5 job openings before the end of the month is much better. To say I need a minister to students or a minister to children is pretty general. But to say that I need them and I need to have this position filled with a certain personality style within 3 months is a lot more specific. So make your goals more specific. Then I would say share your goals with someone who cares if you reach them. You might state them to the church. You might state them to the leaders in your ministry. Sharing your intentions with your friends, with those that you're close to, can help ensure success. And so say, this is where I'm headed. This is what I see clearly. This is my intention. This is what I'm praying about. Then sixthly, write down these goals and put them where you'll see them. You need to be reminded of this list of goals. And the more often you read the list, I promise you, the more results you're going to get. And then review and revise your list. Experiment with different ways of stating these goals and keep reviewing it. And goal setting gets better with practice. So keep playing around with it to get better at setting goals. Now, what I'd like you to do for this week would be to simply look at an area of ministry, of need in your ministry, and write that down. Maybe you need to list 3 or 4 things. It might be a greeting position at church. It may be to fill a teacher position, or it might be some small thing within your ministry, and not a big global thing yet, but some smaller thing that you will sit down and say, this is a goal that needs to be accomplished. And then I'd like you to go to the SMART goal worksheet, and I'd like you to fill that out and just fill it in with information, and then send it to me this week as part of your weekly coursework so that I can look that over and make some suggestions to you. Remember, we're getting ready for a large SMART goal project that'll be coming up in just a few weeks. So get that to me this week, and I'll try to get it back to you as fast as I can with some ideas and maybe some evaluation for you. Okay, you've got a lot of reading to do this week, and you've got a book review in just a few weeks coming up, and we'll keep kind of moving along in this fast-paced, accelerated class. I'm so glad you're part of this. Thanks.